Europe's largest motorcycle dealership, Superbike Factory, has, as of yesterday, the 17th of July 2026, filed for administration. So this isn't a rumour mill, this isn't doom mongering, this is a genuine legal process that the company has enacted in order to protect themselves from creditors whilst they figure out whether they can save the company. So it's kind of a sad time. Let's give some thought to the hundreds of employees who work at Superbike Factory. Let's not make this video, oh, I told you so, or they deserved it, because in all honesty, I don't think it's black and white like that. So Superbike Factory was founded in 2010, based originally in Macclesfield, but then they spread out to these different sites across the UK. There's a barn over there to my right, and I'll show you some B-roll of the barn. Imagine that barn, but times 100. And then that will give you the scale of a Superbike Factory site. They sold 15,000 used motorcycles per year. They had a turnover of over £80 million and a profit margin of about 10% of that, 8.3 million. And a big part of their business was not only selling motorcycles, but also the finance side of it. Now, I've said before about Superbike Factory that the prices were always reasonable. It wasn't like dealer pricing. And part of that was they were able to acquire bikes cheaply through companies like WeBuyAnyBike.com, who would give you, people who wanted to offload a bike quickly would get a low offer, and then those bikes would be funneled through into the Superbike Factory machine. So what actually pushed Superbike Factory over the edge? It's all linked to a Court of Appeal ruling back in October 2024, when the Court of Appeal ruled that undisclosed commission payments between automotive dealerships and finance companies were unlawful. What had been happening up until this point is you would walk into a dealership, the salesperson would set you up with a motorcycle, you couldn't afford the bike outright with a cash payment, so you were put onto a finance plan. Interestingly, even if you could afford it with a cash payment, they would definitely push and encourage you to go for the finance. And the reason for that is they were getting what we would commonly term as backhanders or commission payments or incentives to get customers onto finance. Now, with a finance deal, you pay interest, and so that is the reward the finance company was getting, and hence they were giving incentives to the salespeople. Now, this creates a big problem for Superbike Factory, because now that this practice has been deemed unlawful, it opens the door for a legal challenge to people who were sold finance in the past when perhaps they shouldn't be. Think of PPI, think of the emissions scandal. If you were missold something, there's now going to be a plethora of legal entities wanting to get you money back and of course take their cut. So this creates a big problem for the Superbike Factory and other large-scale dealerships, because finance companies are going to be very, very picky who they work with, and this now legal scrutiny. Add to that, you've got the cost of living crisis. Things are more expensive than ever. When we talk about utilities, we talk about fuel. We have heating oil here. If you're not careful, it costs a fortune. People are living and surviving with less than they've ever had before. So in that climate, it's not good to be selling a luxury item such as the motorcycle. That your client base is going down and down and down. And there was a big drop between 2024 and 2025 in new motorcycle registrations, partly because a lot of brands pre-registered stock to derogate against Euro 5 in 2024 towards the last quarter of the year. That meant that sales in 2025 were down because customers had picked up deals on 2024 bikes at the end of that year, and so the pipeline was drained of product basically. Now, interestingly, Superbike Factory are in a bit of a unsettled place now, to put it lightly, but 2026 registrations, from the data I've seen, seems to be showing a bounce back. Is that a glimmer of hope? I don't know. It seems to me that this is now part of a pattern. So we had Completely Motorcycles in 2023, 2024 who failed. They had a turnover of 70 million, almost as much as Superbike Factory. They had 21 dealerships. And of course, all of the employees lost. The people who had paid money for bikes but hadn't had them delivered potentially lost thousands. It was awful. Mutt Motorcycles, CCM Motorcycles, both failed in the last 18 months. I think there's different reasons for those, and I've done a video specifically on that, so I won't go into it today. But it just shows that you have to have everything spot on in order to successfully sell motorcycles in 2026. And if you are not competitive, there's going to be someone else out there who's going to take your market share. I won't be tempted to celebrate the loss of Superbike Factory. Number one, hundreds of jobs and livelihoods are potentially at risk now. The customers who are involved with mid-transaction in Superbike Factory are going to be very concerned. And I think that the company offered something that only a company with such a wide footprint could. You could go into Superbike Factory and browse on each site hundreds and hundreds of motorcycles and look at bikes that you would never potentially be purchasing. Just something weird and wonderful. It was like being a kid in a candy shop. Whenever I went in there, I experienced no high pressure sales tactics. I looked under the bikes, I nosed around, I looked at the headers and the nuts connecting the exhaust pipe to the engine. It wasn't all corroded, it wasn't rusty, it wasn't painted over and covered up. I suspect the bikes they got from We Buy Any Bike and how that was funneled through were probably good stock, and that enabled them to position the bikes at an affordable price point. And I always looked at Superbike Factory bikes and they were this level pegging with private sales. It was a great way to buy a dealer supported motorcycle at a private seller price point. Now, there was some criticism from Superbike Factory about the administration fee and the sales tactics, but this is the key thing. Superbike Factory were working to turn their reputation around. As recently as last year, or maybe even the start of this year, you sort of started to see YouTube videos of influencers going to Superbike Factory saying, oh, this is what they're doing. They're giving free test rides. They're scrapping the administration fee of £179. They're doing a 160-point check on every motorcycle before it leaves the dealership. It wouldn't surprise me if they started offering free delivery. So the manager of Superbike Factory was kind of like on the ground. He was trying to change things. He was trying to improve the reputation of Superbike Factory. So I kind of got to give them credit for that. They saw they were in a difficult spot. They saw that the headwinds were against them and public opinion was negative. And it's negative on all motorcycle dealers, not just the huge conglomerates. But he tried to turn things around. Unfortunately, it just seemed to be too little too late. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't enjoy particularly making it, but it is a newsworthy item and I wanted to let you guys know.